Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 34th episode of the SWW Show. It's me, AJ. I got Mike alongside me.
Wait, I'm alongside you?
Well, yeah, if you look at our Discord call.
That's fair, that's fair. I'm alongside AJ. AJ is on my right, my arm is currently around him, digitally speaking. Except he's taller than me, so my arm's kind of hanging up. It's a little uncomfortable, AJ, I'm gonna be honest with you.
I was going to say, I'm a good, 4 or 5 inches taller than you at least?
I was gonna say 6, so I'll go with 4 or 5. I like 4.
Well, how tall are you?
5'7"?
Yeah. I'm like 6'1", depending on what shoe I'm wearing.
Depending on the girl you tell.
No, I mean, I'm a legit 6 foot, so I don't have to lie about that.
It is. So right now, we're at the end of June. Is it cold for you by you too? Because right now for me it's like in the 70s and it's very confusing.
It's muggy as hell.
Oh, I don't have muggy. I have fucking like lack of muggy, whatever that is.
Dry.
I don't know if dry. It feels like it just rained. It's like it's not muggy, but the other way around.
It says it's currently 80. We've got a 15% chance of rain through 7 o'clock. Feels like 84 right now. But yeah, we've been having like crazy rains down by us.
Really? Ugh. I don't like that shit.
We had
in the northwest at least.
What's that?
I said we're not in the northwest at least.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. And they've got the Olympic trials still going on. And they're in Eugene. So, like yesterday, they said it was 97.
Yeah, but
So they ran everything at night, but the track still feels like over 100 on the track.
Mm-hmm.
So
that is what. But yeah, this is gonna be July's SWW show. I'm trying to think. Been a weird couple weeks. I'm actually, I think, settled in this house somewhat. I have my office mostly done. I have to hang stuff now, but that's a different fight. I have a whiteboard wall now, AJ, so I could like draw things randomly.
how many penises are on that wall?
None. I'm sorry, none yet. I haven't like it's too tall for me to like really model for it. If it was a little bit lower, I could do it. Because it starts like 3 inches above my dick.
So what, no? Your waistline?
Yeah, it's around my waistline and it goes a little below. Because it's like it's not the whole wall. It's basically framed as like a like 3 feet by 6 feet, 7 feet. But it literally is the wall, which is cool.
Oh, you would have a 7-foot long penis drawn on that thing the second I walked in.
You know it. Except like you do something or like partially starts you at first you're like, what is that? Oh.
No, I'd just draw it, and then progressively over the weekend it would grow veinier and grow more pubic hair. And
no, I'd make a rule. So like right now my rule is every time I walk in the basement I have to like put one thing away. I'd make a new rule that every time I walk in the office I put one hair on it.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
But, anything else? I think it's calm. It is calm. It's been chaos. How are things otherwise over for you in the great land of the Michigans?
Well, now that we've got the rain for the month of July in a weekend, 4th of July is looking promising. Because a lot of people were genuinely worried. Like, we hadn't had rain until this past weekend in over 2 weeks.
Wow.
So
Which
like
in
if you,
Michigan, where you are, that's decent.
yeah, that's pretty long, especially in the summer. Um, like so if you didn't have a sprinkler system or were watering your grass was pretty much dead.
I've been having that trouble here.
So yeah, so a lot of people were worried that if we didn't get any rain, what that would do to fireworks displays because you can't just be launching explosives into a grass of into dried grass because that's just a recipe for fire.
So you can. It's frowned upon.
I mean, you could, but you'd get slapped with a pretty hefty bill from the fire department.
Do you think that they actually track that well? Like, do you actually think if you like how would they prove it's you?
Well, every fire gets investigated,
That's fair.
so if they can prove that it was man-made, they charge whoever the property owner is. So that's the great, like that's the kind of the shitty part about it, and it differs state by state. But like somebody could flick a lit cigarette onto your lawn that was dry, start a fire, and you would get charged for it
Wow.
because you're the property owner. Unless they had like concrete proof that it wasn't you,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like if you had a security camera and could show them, like, no, look, it was this idiot. Um, yeah. So it's certainly interesting. I mean, the thing of it is too, right? Like fireworks have a tax for the fire marshal, so the fire departments get paid kind of already. So
Yeah.
yeah. Other than that, I mean, our roads are falling apart because it's been hot, so they buckle and then they fall apart. So
Accurate.
that's not fun. Yeah. Other than that, not
Okay.
much.
I'm glad that is going well. Let's see what we have for notes here. Yeah, shows are starting back up. For you now. We got invited to a show, AJ, but I don't think it makes sense for us to go. I don't know if I feel like going to Atlanta right now.
Is it the one that we did?
No, it's one I called Kentucky Con, but I know it's not true. Some thing. It was like a pinball arcade thing.
Oh,
I don't know
I
if I
mean, that would be cool to go to, but
like if I still lived around there, I'd be like, oh, I'll go. But I don't know if I feel like it's worth the travel. But we'll see.
because where's it at?
What is it?
Where's it at?
Atlanta. So it's a cruise.
I mean, it's a direct flight for both of us.
That's fair. Yeah, we can talk about that after. But yeah, that is a thing. But at least good news that means is shows are starting back up. I'm still a little hesitant, at least this year, kind of us doing a lot of shows, just because I think attendance wise, it's gonna be wonky.
I mean, if
Um,
GDX wants us back,
that one, yeah.
we can
But
do
I
that.
have not paid attention to if they what they're doing actually. But yeah.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah, that is all I have. That kind of fun stuff. Let's get us started. So, what is going on with us? So, we both played some Sea of Thieves, Thieves.
Yeah, you spelled that one wrong, dude.
That was after spell check too.
You're a
Think so.
college graduate that can't spell thieves.
uh,
You also can't spell a lot of stuff.
so yeah, we were playing the Pirates update, which I think we're playing later this week some more.
Yeah, the Pirate's Life.
So we did the first mission where you get Jackie Poo. Did you end up finishing that mission?
Yeah, so it was only another like 15 minutes.
Really? Okay, I was
Yeah.
not sure how much longer that was going.
Yeah, it was a like a combat arena with Davy Jones in his ship, and some of the like ocean creatures. And then once that was done, yeah, it was pretty quick.
So we just obviously realized that we started doing that on stream last week and we'll do it again this week, which it will be, I guess, when you're hearing this last few weeks. And it is, I think, interesting. I think the world design is kind of cool. I think there was a level of frustration I have with unclarity of what we're supposed to be doing, kind of baked in this level design of the game.
Well, that's just that it's Sea of Thieves. Like it's not necessarily like the this update changed something. Mm-hmm. Like this problem has been in that game forever. Which I mean, I get it, right? Like the game is supposed to be about exploration. Mm-hmm. It's supposed to be about this. The only map that you have is on the ship, and you have a compass, and that's about it. Like,
so sure, but if that is true, then like I agree with you in the sense of then I don't understand because it feels the missions are very structured without directions of being structured. Like they want to be structured. They sense these missions. They're like, perfect. Now let's go find this thing. And the idea that I just have to understand that this man's body is buried falling by this gold, I don't know if like it's clear.
Well, so we didn't have to do that. Like that whole searching for poor Dougie's treasure, mm-hmm. We didn't have to do that. Mm-hmm. We could have just straight lined. Like once we got that head, the talking mm-hmm. head, we could have gone straight to the lighthouse and been done. Mm-hmm. So it is nice that they have some stuff to do. Like, they fleshed it out more than just, here's the path. Mm-hmm. They could have easily done that. They could have easily just made this like I don't know, like a guided. They could have easily made this a guided path, which they didn't, and I applaud them for that. But also, it's not, it's not the most evident. Like, if it wasn't for the fact that I had looked up that guide, we would have never known how to win that chess game.
Right. Which that chess game to me, it was funny because one of those ideas that when I saw it, at the time I was like, oh, this sounds really cool. But it's some of that puzzle stuff is my issue with puzzle games of it doesn't feel like it makes sense.
Well, this is like trying to do that whole thing was like trying to put together a 100-piece puzzle when all the pieces are white. The only guiding thing you have is kind of the shape of the piece. But even then, you're not sure. So, like, we found part of the thing for that quest right away, effectively. Had no idea what to do with it. And then just stumbled on, there's this chess game. We need this special recipe thing that we found. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to the rest of this. I will say everything that I've heard. The second one, the second Tall Tale, which is the one we have just done, um, or maybe we've done the third, depending on when this goes up. But the second one is supposedly the buggiest one so far.
Oh.
So they did mention that they were going to issue a patch here, potentially over the weekend, but that doesn't help us.
What? Do you know what do you mean by buggy?
Just things going wrong.
Also, the other thing I just need to complain about Sea of Thieves with, and for the record, I don't know if I think it's. I actually think I actually might enjoy this more than the base game because I feel it's at least. I feel like my issue with the base game is too open, and at least this tightens it a bit. Is just playing that fucking game. There are times where I'm just like, Jesus Christ, this jumping is bad, or it feels like a game that shouldn't be a platformer but is trying to be one.
Well, but the thing of it is, right, like that platforming stuff
Mm-hmm.
is tucked away into these tall tales.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, the base game, you never interact with that platforming stuff.
Sure, but they made a point of this being a thing in which they are prominently put on display, and then frustratingly using mechanic that I don't think this game is geared for.
But I will say the nice part is they make everything forgiving enough.
Yeah.
Like, yes, the jump sucks, but you're also not trying to make pixel perfect jumps.
Mm-hmm.
So that's nice, but yeah.
It's just like one of the things. Again, I don't think per se a horrible game. I just think for the way people talk about this game, I don't get it.
I mean,
But
I understand it. Like it, this game is built around getting you and three of your friends together and just having a blast.
mm-hmm.
And when you're doing that, when it's you and a couple friends just cruising around on a boat, doing like the merchant alliance and the gold, the just the kind of base stuff that you can do. It's relaxing,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's a fun game with just enough danger, right? They have the random events, they have the megalodons, they have the krakens, they have the skeleton ships. So it's got a little bit of everything for everyone. But then when you go into these tall tales, and it's like, oh, this is trying to do something that maybe it shouldn't be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, we'll
We will
see, I
keep.
guess.
Yeah. It says here you've been playing SnowRun. Is that the snowboarding game?
No, so this is the sequel to. Okay, let me get the legacy of this right. There was a game called Spin Tires,
Okay.
which was like a physics simulation uh, game where it was like a bunch of muddy roads and you drove trucks through it. And you could winch your truck through it, and it was pretty cool. The idea of it was pretty cool. Then the guy that made that got bought or something. Something happened, and like started to work on Mud Runner. I think is what it was originally called, and then got fired or split or something. There was some legal issue. Then the company that bought the tech went on to make this Snow Runner. And this one's a lot more diversified. It's from Saber, which
Really?
is interesting. Yeah, Mud Runner was the So Mud Runner and Snow Runner are the same tech as spin tires, but it's not the same guy. Like there was a whole thing about like I they had to pull spin tires from sale, or it got into some weird legalness that I can't remember anymore. But spin tires, the original game is what it says.
Mm-hmm.
So the guy is clearly pissed off that um, that's Saber, but yeah, it's. Let's see. You'll find that Uvi, who I believe is the one that makes spin tires, are having an ongoing legal battle with Pavel Saber. So, yeah, that legal battle is still going on, I guess. Which, yeah. Okay, here it is. This is a topic on Steam, originally posted back in February. I don't know when this answer was posted. The legal documents we discovered from late last year suggest that Uvi and Saber never ended their fight about the Spin Tires trademark, which goes back to 2018. Saber accused Uvi of breaching the terms of the license agreement that allowed for Mud Runner to be developed and sold. Speculation only, non-competition clause maybe. Uvi accused Saber of the same, and since Mud Runner was originally marketed using the Spin Tires brand, Uvi are seeking to revoke their license, objecting to the use of that name and in fact the existence of Mud Runner and Snow Runner as trademarks and products. Saber is claiming that allowing Uvi to own the Spin Tires mark will damage them monetarily. Saber disputing that Pavel ever gave Uvi ownership of the IP and Uvi's later attempted trademark of the name. I don't think that potentially copyrighted content, including either game, has anything to do with it. This information is freely available online. That was posted in March.
Okay.
So it looks like the case is Saber wanted to basically turn Spin Tires into Mud Runner and license the Spin Tires name. And then Uvi and Saber are going to take measuring contests now. Is what it appears to be. So, but this one's like, it's cool because it's way more developed. Like there's like 6 base maps, and then each base map has 3 or 4 kind of levels in it. So it's pretty expansive, and it's just a really great way to kill time. Yep.
Nice. Also, you're playing the Vietnam game, Rising Storm 2?
Yeah. Yeah, I had streamed that a couple weeks ago. I forgot to put it on the doc the last time I recorded, but that was a Humble Bundle game. So I picked it up and started playing it. It's tough. It's one of those games that if you get a kill, you're happy.
Really?
Like, you feel like you truly accomplished something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice. And then, before we get to yours, I've been playing Ratchet and Clank, Rift Apart. Actually, it's really good. I think it's my first, like true PS5 games since Spider-Man. And if you like the other Ratchet and Clank games, I think you'd like this one a lot. Have you played any of the Ratchet games? I forget.
Maybe one of them.
Okay, so um, this is, I think, mechanically maybe not the most unique of them. I think the game still is plays really fun because those games are generally just fun to play. Um, Also, it's kind of insane. I don't know if you watched the trailers of where you basically have these portals. Instead of going into a portal, you pull the world to you. Watching that in action is very fucking impressive because of how much probably dynamic loading and memory stuff that's doing is actually pretty insane. And I'd be very curious trying to see this thing like run on the last gen because of that. Also, there are times this game, especially in cutscenes, is goddamn gorgeous. So yeah, Ratchet and Clank Drift Apart. I'm probably like halfway done with it, so I got some more playing. I'll probably play it a bit tonight, actually. But yeah, I think people should probably go check it out. And then lastly, here it says you have been playing with those gangsters.
Yeah, I still need to finish Yakuza 7.
How far do you think you are in it?
I'm in chapter 12 now, which is apparently like the shit's about to kick off chapter.
Okay.
So there's Steam achievements for chapter 14.
Mm-hmm.
So I have at least 2 more chapters to go.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
It's not very clear if there's also going to be like an epilogue chapter.
Okay.
Because every now, I think Zero had one where like the story ended and then it came back, and then you got into the, just run around and finish everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Alright. Nice. Okay. If we're jumping to what we have seen, it looks like you have not really been watching much.
I've been watching some sports.
Okay.
And actually, as we're recording this, the Stanley Cup Final is about to start. So,
Nice. Okay. And then I've been watching Loki, which is not something that AJ would care about. I think it is doing really cool stuff for the MCU, and I actually think the world's really cool in Loki because it's actually like kind of pulling it back from the normal like Marvel stuff. So, normally it's on Earth or some normal planet thing in a very straight thing. I think it reminds me a lot of Doctor Strange, where it fucks with people's sense of time and what is time. Actually, the best way to describe Loki, AJ would understand this one, is it reminds me of Tenet's definition of time travel. Of independent of the flow of time, you view the flow of time through the individual.
okay.
But yeah, I think it's really cool to check out. Oh, speaking of Tenet, I totally just bought the 4K, not Blu-ray. What's the not Blu-ray stuff?
I don't know.
Is it like HD or 4K DVD or whatever they're called?
They're just called 4K Blu-rays, as far as I know.
Maybe it's 4K Blu-ray then of Tenet. So I might check that out in 4K on my new TV. So, yeah. Which is the usual problem with Tenet of it'll make no fucking sense, but it'll be fun to watch.
Yeah. Well, I was just thinking, like, I don't know if upping the resolution really makes a difference.
Sure. Probably not, but I think it's still one of those fun things. Tenet's one of those things that I think one of those known films. I think, it's not one of his strongest films, and I always agree on that. I still think it's just kind of fun just to watch once in a while. I think they're really cool scenes in Tenet.
Yeah.
Probably the most accurate way of saying it. I think stuff like, obviously the whole scene with with them and like the lack of oxygen and the explosions really cool. Some of the things where they say fuck with time is cool. But yeah. Okay. Jumping pull some news. Hey Jay, we have to start with the story, which is the funniest shit and greatest time capsule of all time. So last time we recorded, AJ gave an entire monologue about how Amazon will never get to buy MGM. AJ, what fucking happened the morning after we recorded?
Dude, Amazon pulled out the checkbook.
How much did you read that the next morning? You just go, what the fuck?
Well, when I saw the amount, it made sense.
But it was funny because like you gave a whole thing of being like, it's not gonna happen.
Well,
Why are we talking about
also that I was basing that off of like how much other companies had paid for franchises or studios. And I was like, MGM really doesn't have anything besides Bond, so you're basically just buying the Bond franchise.
For $8.4 billion.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money.
I mean, it's double what Disney bought Star Wars for.
Sure, but they bought Fox for hundreds of billions.
Yeah, but I mean, the Fox purchase was on multiple levels, right? It wasn't just film, it was TV, it was music, it was, physical goods, it was a lot of stuff. Yeah. So, do you think, does this make Bond movies... Does Amazon pull the big dick move and pull Bond from every other platform?
I thought for a while Amazon was the exclusive Bond.
Kind of. Like,
they had every non-Daniel Craig film on Prime.
Yeah, but some other services had them too.
I thought on and off, but for consistently it was Amazon.
Yeah. But that was also because Amazon was trying to push into the UK market.
And that's a good UK film, yeah.
So they needed UK stuff.
No, you know what the ultimate ballsy film would be is? Bond is no longer in theaters. He has the same budget on Prime.
That I genuinely don't think will ever happen.
But could you imagine?
Because I don't think Eon would let that happen.
But I would be very curious the terminology of the distribution deals to see if like how that looks.
I mean, Amazon could do whatever they want, but if Eon isn't... Like, Amazon doesn't own Bond.
But right now, MGM is the distributor.
Right. They distribute it, but they don't own Bond. So...
Right. But some deals could be, like, fine, but there could be some terms being, like, either you make it with us or you make it with no one for 10 years or whatever, too. Like, I'd be curious, like, if they have any of those clauses.
I mean, there's no reason for them to have those clauses.
Sure.
Like, this isn't like, MGM owning Bond and then Eon being, like, the production company on it. This is Eon owning it, making it, and they have a deal with MGM to distribute it.
I think it's only ever for one film.
Huh?
No way.
I don't know how long that deal runs, but yeah, I mean, if Eon doesn't want Bond day and date on streaming, it won't be on streaming.
Yeah.
So
it'd be interesting though to see what happens. So Bond's supposed to come out as Thanksgiving?
Yeah, it's like October.
Okay. So we will be finally get to watch our Bonds. This is the year. This is the okay.
Well, who knows with the way the Delta variant's been going through most of the world.
Shut up! If this gets late one more fucking time. Sorry, I got a little excited there. Okay. Other news. AV Club has a stick up their ass. Oh, I'm sorry. Is there a news story to go with that one? There is. So AMC and a bunch of theaters announced that basically, like most places in the nation, if you are vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask, right?
Yeah.
And AV Club is apparently not happy about it.
Of course not.
What was the thing I made up last time? Was it some about press being idiots? But yeah. Big thing here is you can now go into theaters, pending your location and pending actually the brand, but most theaters probably in most of the nation without wearing a mask if you are fully vaccinated. AJ, what is your 10,000 level view on this?
They're just following the CDC guidelines.
That's kind of my view on it too. So like people who up their arms about it being like, what do you expect to happen once the CDC made these guidelines? Like,
yeah.
So, okay. Next news story. This is one that surprised me a lot. Netflix has officially striked a deal with Steven Spielberg. Wasn't Spielberg the one like a couple years ago, like screaming how Netflix is going to kill the movie industry?
That was Scorsese, but
okay, wouldn't you believe me? So it was both of them.
Well, they've both done a Netflix movie now.
What is Spielberg's?
Well, this would be Spielberg's. Didn't Scorsese make The Irishman?
Yes.
I mean, dude, Spielberg will horror service out to anyone. As long as you got a check coming his way, he doesn't care.
I'm gonna go back to what I always say too. That like Spielberg is influentially a very important director. Right? I don't understand the way we talk about him right now though. Like he has not done anything in the last like 15 years to like which is above fine or good. He has not done anything groundbreaking in the last 15 years.
Well, let's look at his IMDb.
Already pulling it up. Okay.
So
when I pull up the Steven Spielberg filmography, we're just gonna pull up all of it just to make life super easy. Okay.
Well, just have him be a director.
Yeah. Okay. When he is a director, I'm gonna start early in his career. I'm gonna pull things that matter. Okay.
Bridge of Spies was good.
Oh damn.
Ready Player One was good. Not good, but
no. But Bridge of Spies, I'd go back to is that like good category.
I guess for what they wanted Ready Player One to be, he did a good job.
See me out. Lincoln, great film. So 2012. There's one film. Pre-Lincoln, I don't think anything besides Catch Me If You Can, like nothing between mattered.
War Horse.
You think it mattered?
Tintin. Like War Horse maybe isn't like on the same revereness level as Lincoln or any of his other stuff. But it was seen as a pretty interesting movie to make. And like The Adventures of Tintin, like that was extremely influential because it was Spielberg going into full animation.
It was a little bit after, obviously, he did like the 90s TV shows. So
yeah, but I think Tintin was like performance capture. That's what I mean. Like,
yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right. But then my point was like, you have to start going further and further back. Obviously, Jurassic Park, Key Matters, Hook, Saving Private Ryan. Even if I started doing stuff like Empire of the Sun, like, which is
Jaws,
like one of
Close Encounters.
Yeah, early like 70s, 80s Spielberg matters a ton, even like bleeding to the 90s. But like when you hit the turn of the millennia, stopped really mattering, I think.
I mean, he had Minority Report and Catch Me If You Can, War of the Worlds.
Sure, but
Of course,
if I
that
just
isn't
said,
the good War of the Worlds.
yeah, sure, but if I just said, here is this man, and I just listed his 2000 films, you'd be like, oh, it's a good director. You wouldn't, it's like, Spielberg, people talk about Spielberg like I promise you this Netflix deal is hundreds of millions of dollars.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll keep an eye out, and I'll be curious what size budget Netflix gives him for these films.
He's making multiple films under the Amblin banner.
Is that a new banner, by the way?
Amblin? No, that's been his production company for a long time.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, next story. It's not really a news one, but I think it's fucking great. So, I didn't realize we're in the middle of making The Last Jackets. We all got that to look forward to. But GQ sat down with Johnny fucking Knoxville to talk about his career and his final Jackets film. If you want to check it out, just Google the GQ Johnny Knoxville Last Rodeo. But I love just some snippets in this one I want to talk about. One of my favorite lines they kind of talk about is when they talk about like his longevity of his career, and Knoxville goes, "Well, half-ass stuntmen don't really think about long term." Also, I think it's wild. He started making Jackass when he was 29. This film will come out when Johnny Knoxville is 50.
Well, you know how Johnny Knoxville got onto the scene?
How?
He shot himself with a gun wearing a bulletproof vest. Seriously. And then Big Brother magazine picked it up. I think that's who picked it up.
So but also like the Jackass films are just such a place. So here's the only question. So I assume you've seen the Jackass films.
Yep. Seen all of them.
Will they work in today's like society when it comes out?
I mean, Jackass 3 was the start of kind of... Jackass 3 was seen as not necessary. Like, it was 5 or 6 years after 2... It might have been even longer. Like, all the guys had their shows in between 2 and 3. They had all failed. And then they wanted to do 3 as kind of a send-off. But, yeah, I mean, these things rake in money. It's crazy. But
yeah, I think it's a cool interview. Also, just Johnny Knoxville is fucking wild. That's all I gotta say.
yeah, he's got a really interesting career.
He's
also
one of those people that's
he's also
like
way
insane.
smarter than you think he is.
Oh, 100%. The thing with those films are their comedy style is known as lowbrow and not smart, but even like this dumb stunts they do, the amount of creativity it takes to set those the fuck up.
Well, and like, okay, I'm trying to think. Like, in 3, they had the scene where I think it was Knoxville took a blind side from Jared Allen, the football player. Super, like, it's a pretty dumb skit. But the way that they filmed it made it hilarious. Like, and then they have, you know, the slow-mo shot of a guy kicking a football into Preston's gut, and he's got, you know, the yellow painted up his stomach and then all over his shoulders to make him look like the uprights. Like, that could have been just a complete throwaway segment. But it isn't. Like, it's still remembered as one of the funniest bits in that movie. So, yeah, I mean, for them to like, are there throwaway things? Absolutely.
Mm, no one's doubting that.
Yeah. Um, I think the funnier thing is like what the Jackass movies end up being is like a documentary on how to film Jackass.
Yeah.
Like the movie just becomes a documentary.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's clear that they set out trying to make a movie, and then it's just like half of it's behind the scenes stuff. I will say the part that I hope they don't continue is the Spike Jonze old lady bits, because those are annoying.
You don't like them?
Well, no, because they just throw off the whole mood of the Jackass movies.
Fair.
Like you're watching Steve-O get slingshotted in a porta-john, and then it cuts to the next bit is Spike Jonze as an old lady, like, being vulgar.
Hmm?
And it's just like, it's such a different thing. I've never liked them. I get that they were able to take that and make Bad Grandpa out of it, which was a terrible movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny, right? Like, Knoxville's movies outside of Jackass feel
Horrible.
off.
Hmm?
Like, Bad Grandpa is just objectionably terrible.
Because partially, I think what it is, it's the chemistry between them.
Well, but like, what was it? Action Point was okay. Like, it was way better than Bad Grandpa. But, yeah, I guess it's it's watching guys that have known each other for 20 years, smack each other in the balls. Or, Wee Man getting hit across the face with a fish in the opening of 3. Or Pontius running around naked and having a snapping turtle bite his balls. It's the stupid stuff. It's not like, I don't want it to be a movie. I want it to be 90 minutes of a collection of them just screwing around.
Yeah. No, that's fair. I always find it interesting with them is I think it must be so obviously like the people in the film knows when they're filming it, right? What do you think those days are like? Do you think they wake up and just like, fuck, I still have 2 more weeks on the set and just something's gonna happen today? Because like some of them everyone knows is happening, and there are obviously some sets stunts that people just don't know are happening.
Yeah. I'd be curious to see, because it feels like either the Jackass movies are made in a very short amount of time,
Or
it's just like whenever they can get guys together.
I bet you it's some level of a hybrid. I bet you in my head it's kind of like, okay, we are here filming this for 30 days. We have what should be 20 days of filming, but it's built in 30 because we know anyone on the team might have something else planned and that extra time is built in. Is why I'm assuming it's some level of that. Or there might be someone in production who knows everything that should happen, but everyone else just knows some things.
Yeah.
Just because realistically, like, how do you... Someone has to know everything, otherwise it's really hard to budget that time.
Jeff Tremaine.
Yeah.
He's the mastermind behind everything. Like, that guy is... He doesn't get the respect he deserves because he's the mind behind Jackass. But he's the mind behind Jackass, the Nitro Circus, all of the Jackass spin-off shows. ridiculousness, even though it's a terrible show. Like,
This is just worse Tosh point oh, which is a
yeah,
statement.
yeah.
Because Daniel Tosh, I think, is actually a funny person.
Well, Daniel Tosh knew delivery.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Which is something that you learn when you're a comedian.
Right.
You're trying to take
He's a comedian first.
Yeah, you're trying to take a former professional skateboarder and I don't know what Stilo used to do.
And whatever fuck her name is.
Chanel, she's like a professional like bimbo basically at this point. You know, you're trying to take the three of them that have no training in comedic timing or style or delivery.
And then somehow all their guests are dumber than they are.
Yeah.
Either the guests are dumber than they are, or the guest looks like they're having a horrible time. Those are the only two options.
Well, I think like the guests that are like either genuine athletes, like sometimes the guy would get like baseball stars on there, or like other professional athletes, and like every now and then they would have a fun time for the segment that they clearly designed around the guest, and then everything else they would just be like, yeah, whatever. But
jumping to trailers. So I have a couple trailers here. I don't know what you have seen or not seen, so I kind of grabbed a few from the month. First is the Masters of the Universe trailer. If people don't know, Kevin Smith has partnered with Netflix and they're remaking Masters of the Universe, which looks to be shaping up decently good. I feel like it looks like what we all want it to look like. I'm assuming it's not something you really care about, AJ?
not really.
Next, we have The Harder They Fall, which was a Netflix trailer that caught up that I thought looked really cool. It was a cool Western.
Yeah, I saw it on TV. I think it was the first time I saw the trailer.
Yeah. I think it looks pretty cool. I don't know a ton about it. It definitely caught my interest, though, immediately. And also casting for it seems insane. Gonna be honest here. Netflix is really throwing a lot of money, I feel like, into higher budget films now that they have been trying to do, but I think they're getting better at it.
Well, I think it's gone from Netflix is just throwing a ton of money at it and just hoping something comes out
to not making a point.
We're throwing money at it, but we want the money to go here.
Mm-hmm. Which is probably a better thing to do. Next, we have Last Night in Soho, which is an Edgar Wright film. And I believe this would be Edgar Wright's first horror film. Did you?
Well,
AJ,
I guess it depends on how you define some of his other. Like, some people consider
Shaun of the Dead.
Well, I'm not considering it a horror movie. Some people
like
consider
a straight horror movie.
Yeah,
that looked like a comedy horror.
Yeah,
like that whole Corretto trilogy or whatever. That's like all comedy horror. This looks like straight horror.
Yeah, the Coronado trilogy.
Yeah. So yeah, that's. I think it looks really cool. It will be interesting because I don't love horror, but I do like Edgar Wright a lot, so I'd be kind of curious. Edgar Wright inherently has a style to him that I feel like just lends itself for comedy, and that's what's going to be intriguing to me about this.
Yeah.
Okay, and then lastly, AJ, you found the one I didn't mark. Let's see on the doc. We're here to talk about the newest dating show from Netflix. AJ, would you like to tell the people the name of this great dating show?
Go for it.
It is Sexy Beast. You seem not excited about it.
This is just Netflix trying to cash in on the Masked Singer, dancer, all that. Malarkey.
You're giving them that much credit?
That's totally what this is.
This is insane. It is blind dating, but everyone's in full-blown... Can we call them furries?
No, because these have, like, real detail. Like, a lot of
But
the furries have detail, but they tend to be, like, templates.
These you can tell, these are professional costume designers for these.
Like, a lot of the furry stuff that you see, like, it's a lot of templates, right? It's like, oh, it's one of 3 or 4 different eye shapes.
Right, well, this is, like, full-blown.
Yeah. This is like somebody spending hundreds of hours to build the mask.
So here's my question. They've only showed attractive people in the trailer. There must be ugly people mixed in, right?
Nope.
You think it's only actually attractive people?
This is going to be just another in the line of dumbass dating shows because all they do is have professional models.
I approve. I hope you realize whenever this comes out that will be our movie of the month.
It's a show, isn't it?
Damn it, that's true.
Which, I don't know, like, the whole point of those shows, from the public point of view, is you need to figure out who's behind the mask. So how is Netflix going to do that when you can just watch every episode?
Unless they release it in batches. Like they did that for The Circle. I thought they released them like every 2 days.
For what?
The Circle, which was the social media dating game. Or dating, the social media one. And I thought they released an episode like every couple of days. That's what they did. I didn't think they did it all once.
Yeah, I imagine Netflix. Netflix is the one company that they will try the sprinkling release once every like 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Because Netflix is the one service, and Amazon's starting to do it too, that if they release a series, it's just everything's up. So that you build an expectation. Right? You build an expectation. If you're on Netflix watching a new show, every episode is going to be up there.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas with like Hulu and Disney, they are still a traditional once a week. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they approach it. I'm also curious on how it works. You know, because, as I say, those shows rely so heavily on the audience aspect of it. But I'll tell you one thing, it's probably a one and done.
Really?
Yes, there's enough furries that subscribe to Netflix.
I was gonna say, there are furries among us.
Are you telling me you're a furry?
No. You know what I do to furries, right? We polish the gun. We let all the furries into the field. Hunting season.
We let the furries yiff on each other and go on a fox hunt.
When one of them sniffs each other's asses, that's when you shoot them. And for the record, we don't want any furries writing into us. I don't want any of this bullshit. If you are a furry, do we define you as human still? Do you still have rights?
I mean, nobody's really fighting for them, so.
Then I like it, so they're a minority?
Oh, no, minorities have people fighting for them. They're a disassociated person, I think is what they're called.
You know, I'm just naming this episode like The Furries or whatever. Or AJ welcomes furries.
I definitely don't welcome furries.
Yeah, okay, jumping to video games. E3 was this past month, so that's gonna be a lot of these, but we kind of grabbed a few things. First thing I pulled was the Battlefield 2042 trailer.
Goddamn, it looked good.
It damn looked good. I'm a little interested on if they're gonna be able to pull it off well, because it is that semi-futuristic setting. But that is, I feel like for a lot of first-person shooters, kind of that sweet spot where...
Dude, that's Battlefield 4. That is their best-selling game. Like,
That's fair. And it's not 5, which is
Pacific, yeah,
yeah.
or World
I
War
think
II, I should say.
Yeah, I think also the reason I think there's a good shot at these like I think the reason I like that setting partially though is it has that sweet spot of you could use cool modern tech, but you also sprinkle in some sci-fi, but it's not like hero it's not like full blown sci-fi. It's the like that like oh, it feels more unique, but it feels okay because I could actually see it happening.
Yeah, I mean, Battlefield's always been like 5 years in the future, right? Like 4 was that way, 3 was that way, and then obviously they went World War One and then World War Two. But the Battlefield games that are set in like the quote unquote future, they've always been like 5, maybe 10 years into the future. Whereas like Call of Duty games that are set in the future are like 30 to 40 years in the future. And I mean, this rings true with 2042, right? Like they have the Boston Dynamics robot as one of the, I think it's one of the vehicles. So
Yeah. Yeah. Next thing is we have this interesting article. If you want to go check it out some more, it is ironically I'm citing Vice, which I know we've ruled the unsaid here.
well, who wrote it? I guess is the better question.
Joseph Cox. Sorry, I have no fucking clue who this is.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is how hackers use Slack to break into EA games. So for those who don't know, a lot of EA stuff was stolen, including the source code for Frostbite. But what's interesting about this is how the people got the password. Basically, they logged into Slack. They got in basic access to EA Slack, DM'd and random IT guy, and basically said, "Hey, I am a developer and I lost my information. Can you let me in the server to work on stuff?" And they did, which is insane. And from there, they just stole a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
Isn't that wild though? How easy it was.
I mean, it's just social engineering, right? Like,
Yeah, but it's. I feel like when you hear something that you expect it to just be this way more complicated.
well, that's the thing, right? Like, everybody thinks like hacking into a company is this super difficult thing. Like,
Right.
it isn't. It's you just need to be good at social engineering and have a little technical knowledge, and you're good to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Next, I had to put this here, AJ. I apologize. Since we will be talking about Fast and Furious, our plans for that, I have to bring up some fucking how. We have a sequel video game to that great Fast and Furious game that came out earlier in the year. Fast and Furious. I'm sorry, I want to read the entire title here. Remember, I'm not missaying this. Fast and Furious Spy Racers: Rise of Shifter, but it's SH1FT3R. Is Vin Diesel funding this shit himself?
No, that was what was the game that he funded?
Oh, was these fund Riddick?
No, it was shoot.
No,
Driver?
oh yeah, I forgot about that shit.
The one with him in it?
Yeah. But how did the last game sell enough?
That game sold enough because it became a streaming hit. Like, everybody wanted to see how bad it was.
It's like so bad. Why is there a sequel coming out this year? Do they spend 5 minutes working on it?
Who knows?
God. Especially because I like the idea, because there's only 2 developers listed on there, and there's like 7 platforms.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Well, so probably what it is, right, is the core team develops it for PC, and then they just have port houses in
Yeah,
Eastern
and
Europe that are like, okay, you're doing the PlayStation port, you're doing the Xbox port, you're doing the Switch port, you're
and they
doing
just never get recognition. Yeah,
yeah.
there's a lot of shadow companies out there. People would be shocked how many studios actually work on games. Oh yeah, it was made by an Italian team also. You can only imagine how cheap they are. Because obviously studios outside of like America or Western Europe tend to be super cheap.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, Italy's Western Europe.
Sure, but Italy's kind of like that border when it gets cheap again. So yeah. I have now a giant E3 roundup. My plan is I'm gonna start going bottom up, and then we'll kind of talk as stuff's interesting.
So we can infer from that that Mike is in fact an ass man.
So first thing of E3 was, as we talked about Battlefield 2042. There is, and the reason I didn't mark it until right now is so there's some massive xCloud news, and some basically TVs integrated, everything integrated. As of today, officially, if you are an Xbox Gold Game Pass, or whatever the $15 a month membership is, xCloud streaming works on every device, period, out there that has access to a web browser. iOS, Android, Windows applications, TV, everything. Which is fucking wild.
And it'll be run on Series X hardware.
Right. But that's insane. Like, I think that's a massive shift. That's a lot of things are going to happen. Like, so one of the things I think we talked about is they announced all Xbox One games, which fucking, yeah. Xbox One consoles are able to use it also to play Series X and S games. And it's just, it's funny to me that like the side of when they say the new generations, like it's true because now that if they can play it everywhere, like it'll be very interesting watching people play Halo Infinite on an Xbox One, streaming it via Series X, and I'll be curious how that plays.
Probably like dog shit.
But you know you want to see it, right? Or someone on their fucking iPhone on a train trying to play it. Because you know someone's going to do it.
Oh yeah, there's going to be tech bros in San Francisco that call this like the end of consoles, and then they have to justify it every time, right? Like you ask somebody, "Oh, how is it?" and they like, "Oh, yeah," they have to like, it's bad, but they can't say it's bad because they've made their bed, and now they need a light.
I think there are cool things. So I understand. I agree with you on that one thing. That's a bad idea. I think there are cool things to this tech that I think could be really cool.
Yeah.
Especially like if you have one Series X now and you're in your house, I bet you if we could hardwire that into the router, probably be playable.
Yeah.
Boy, there's a shot.
It's worth the shot, yes.
I think companies putting this money into this technology can only improve this technology.
Yeah.
And we'd all live in a better world if technology gets better. The question becomes, is this the step there? Well, it's a wait and see. My understanding is I've heard relatively good-ish things about this tech. So it's worth at least seeing. It's like Stadia. Stadia's issue was never it doesn't work. It was there were other issues with that platform. So
yeah, I mean everything that I've heard about xCloud is like it's good, but until you hit a lag spike, which is true with Stadia. Like Stadia runs amazingly until it hitches, and then you spend the next 15 minutes trying to wait for it to figure out what's going on.
Okay. Next stuff. Xbox has announced the goal is to lose a game a quarter, which I feel like is the general stuff that I think people assume they're going towards. They want to buy more studios. Not super shocking.
Well, you would hope with the number of studios that Xbox owns that they'd be able to put out a game a quarter.
Yeah. But also, a game a quarter, it doesn't mean they will only lose a game a quarter, but that's kind of their minimal threshold.
Yeah.
And I bet you the way they view it is my assumption is it's a AAA game a quarter, and then you kind of fill in the other stuff. So, like, your Halos, your Gears, Bethesda game, like, I bet you that's kind of that quarterly number. Yeah.
But it comes back to the question of when was their last AAA game?
We talked about this too. It's been a hot minute.
Was it Forza Horizon 4?
Maybe. No, they have definitely released games since then, right? Xbox Studios games. I'm riffing while I'm looking up the last games released by Xbox Studio.
Because, I mean, like, Sony's been able to put out at least 3 AAA games a year.
So Forza, we know released. When was the last Obsidian game? The last Obsidian game released was in recently, 2020.
Wasn't that
Grounded?
Was Grounded since? But isn't that available on everything?
Windows, Xbox One, Xbox Series S and X. That's it.
Oh, maybe
it is a fully from when they bought them. Outer Worlds was their release before that, which was everything.
Yeah. Also, I don't know anybody that has played Grounded.
I don't either. It's in early access and it's on Steam.
So therefore, it's not a AAA. Like,
but it's a AAA studio. Like
it's a AAA studio. Yes. Is it a AAA game? No. You know how I know why?
I got In Exile for Wasteland 3, Wasteland Remastered, and Frostpunk VR all came out last year. Wasteland 3 is AAA. The other two I will probably give you on.
I feel like Wasteland 3 was here and gone.
I think it's like one of those continually developed things.
It probably has an audience.
Yeah, it does. I think it's one of those things that like no one talks about.
Yeah. But I mean, their last mass appeal hit was Forza Horizon 4.
I think you're probably right. Looking at their studios, Gears Tactics, yeah.
That's already dead.
I'm like going through their studios, yeah. Now that they've bought ZeniMax, that number will up a good chunk.
Will it though? Because they've got Starfield, and then the next Skyrim is how many years off?
Sure, but Arcane will get to announce something.
Yeah.
Machine Games 100% is Indiana Jones, and that's by a year or two.
Well, I was gonna say id probably not for a while because they just did Eternal.
Sure. Roundhouse Studios has yet to release anything. Ghostwire Tokyo, I believe, and I could be wrong.
That's a PlayStation exclusive.
No, it's only for a year though.
But still, it's a PlayStation exclusive.
But that's the last one of those. Yeah. Also, if you look at a lot of the other teams, like they're kind of in that, there's like that phase with developers where they're like getting ready to release things. So that is Undead Labs is getting to that. Rare is currently working on that new game.
You're naming off all these studios that are getting ready to announce games. That is perfectly my point. Like, okay, how long can you sustain a game a quarter?
I bet you...
Because you haven't even done that yet. Right? So I haven't seen proof that they can do it.
So I agree with you on that one. But I bet you I bet you at the tail end of questioning if they could do it. Because if I said you have now, I bet you if I go this list of, I think it's 18 studios or 15, we have 8 of them that we don't know what they're working on, or we just know kind of what they're working on, inherently means that in the next year, we expect all of them to either be close to being out or we know it. Like, it starts ramping that way. And now, if you have this cycle where then they all have to release one a quarter and you have so many of them, that makes each team like 4 to 5 years.
You hope.
You hope. Unless you're apparently 3 for 3 and takes you 20 years, but.
I'm still not convinced Infinite's coming out this year.
So, yeah. Next stuff. We had some new releases. I think the Metal Slug announcement was cool. Coke Media announced more fucking shit, which Payday 3 is the only cool thing I think in that one. I guess a new.
Wait, you're leaving off the whole 2 Point Hospital follow-up?
I'm sorry, did you care that much about 2 Point Campus?
I mean, 2 Point Hospital is pretty cool.
Okay, fair. 2 Point Campus coming out 2022.
I feel like 2 Point Hospital was a sleeper hit.
Yeah, no, I
when it came out, like everybody played it.
Cool. The No Clip, I think it's just like a podcast about it. Pretty cool. It was fun. I didn't realize kind of the history of it. It made me almost buy it, but I think they did it when the game wasn't out yet, so I didn't. I was this close to buying it. Sony signed with some people called Deviation Games, which we'll see what that means.
It's former Treyarch developers Dave Anthony and Jason Blundell.
Mm-hmm. So
it's probably going to be a shooter.
It's probably an online shooter. It's my guess. Jurassic World, whatever. Death Stranding Director's Cut is coming to PS5. Did you watch that footage?
So here's the thing. That footage is all new.
Right, none of that new. There's Metal Gear shit in that footage, as people have been talking about.
Well, but there's several Metal Gear references in Death Stranding as well.
Sure, but there's some level of... Konami had to approve that.
What, the cardboard box?
The music.
That wasn't...
It was.
Metal Gear music.
That was 100% Metal Gear music.
No, it's, I'd have to look back at it, but it's, I think it was stuff from the original Death Stranding trailer. If I remember right. Like, the music in that trailer is tied to Death Stranding.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, it is interesting, though. I wonder how much work they put into that, though. Also, I didn't see who's is it Sony publishing it? I actually didn't see that, because the PC version is published by...
505.
Yeah. But yeah. Next, Borderlands spin-off for Tiny Tina's Wonderland, which I am curious how big it'll be, since they've called it a spin-off. And it is Gearbox proper, which means it's not super long to work on it. Finally, after that, we got release date for Elden Ring on January 21st, 2022, which I don't think either of us would be playing, but I know a lot of people have been waiting for.
I just think it's funny that Railroad's game came out before his next Game of Thrones book.
Unless anything's caught your eye, I'm skipping a bunch of this indie stuff. I didn't see anything here that really caught my eye a ton. Ubisoft announced some things. The Avatar game comes out in 2022. Okay. Rainbow Six Extraction, which people don't forget, we used to be called Rainbow Six Quarantine. Obviously not named that anymore. Comes out on September 16th. Rocksmith comes back, which is weird.
Let's talk about that Extraction thing real quick.
Yeah.
That is a game built on a game mode from Siege.
Which... Why did they... See, I think it'd be funnier. So obviously they would never call it Rainbow Six Quarantine in this days and age. If I was, I would have been ballsy to fucking called it Rainbow Six Pandemic.
So the reason it's called Quarantine is because that's the name of the game mode.
Right.
It was Quarantine. So...
Yeah, no, it's insane. But yeah. Next, Ubisoft unveiled Mario plus Rabbids sequel Spark of Hope. I really liked the first game, so I'm excited to kind of check out the second one. Nothing important here. Max I don't fucking know. We don't. That Gearbox show was disgusting. Um, shit ton of stuff added to Game Pass. Which like always check out Game Pass. Back for Blood launches as a Game Pass. It's not exclusive, but if you have Game Pass, you get it on October 12th. I feel like that'd be a cool game we should both get, or get Game Pass for the month.
Okay.
Stalker 2.
I mean that's way bigger than you're giving it credit for, but yeah.
Stalker 2. Okay, yeah, it is, but it's not a Plague Tale getting a sequel. Another one I think is decently big. Halo Infinite. I think we knew it's multiplayer is free to play, and they still claim it's quote unquote coming this year. So, but you think it's not? Do you think there's a possibility that multiplayer comes this year and not the campaign?
I think we've talked about this, and yeah, I believe
you believe a piece will come this year, but
something
not
comes out this year, but not.
Fair. Next was Xbox reveals Contraband from Just Cause. That looks fucking cool. Contraband to me just looks like multiplayer Just Cause based on that little teaser we got.
Well, it looks like it's just co-op. It's not a full multiplayer.
Okay, but if you give me co-op Just Cause, I'd be the happiest person in the world. Like, we used to play the multiplayer mode once more. Like, it's fun just to fuck around.
Yeah.
Diablo 2 got a release date on September 23rd. Diablo 2, the lead, I think, writer, one of the writers on there, is my old college professor, which is really cool. Obsidian reveals Outworlds 2, which obviously I was excited about, and as we talked about earlier, Grounded, they showed some update stuff for it. I don't know if people care. Microsoft Flight Simulator comes out at the end of July on Series X and S, and then your Forza Horizon comes out on November 9th. Oh yeah, and then now we get to Dishonored, I think, which is interesting. The Redfall. Did you watch the Redfall trailer?
No.
Okay, so it's they're like hunting vampires. It looks like a fourth-person like co-op, and it's from Arcane. After that, Age of Empires 4 comes out on October 28th, which, yeah. I believe, no, I think you buy it separately, but it's showing as Game Pass, obviously, for PC. We already know about Sea of Thieves. Then next, you have Starfield comes out November 11th, 2022 on Skyrim's 11th anniversary, which I think is pretty cool. And it is a console exclusive for Series X and S, and obviously coming to PC. And also, that was the first thing they announced. It is the first game on their new engine, which in theory should fix some Bethesda jank. Because AJ loves his Bethesda jank, right?
Dude, the Bethesda jank will be there no matter what happens.
We get some Square Enix stuff. I don't think Marvel updates like that. Platinum Games, Babylon's Fall, Life is Strange release stuff. Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy is revealed, which from Team Ninja and Koei Tecmo. And then I think the Idol. So then jumping next, we have the Guardians of the Galaxy from Idris Montreal. I think that looks cool. I'm hoping it plays for like the Batman games, and I think I'll be happy. Which it has to, right?
Play like the Batman games? No.
What do you think it'll play like?
I think it'll be more of abilities based.
Sure. So more Spidey?
Yeah.
No, when I say Batman, I mean more like that kind of, though. Like, I think Spider-Man plays a lot of ways like Batman. It is different, but it plays a lot like him.
Yeah.
Games don't matter. I think we're getting to the tail end of stuff that really people care about. We're on the Sunday stuff. Yeah, we know there's DLC coming for Resident Evil. Danganronpa comes to Switch this year, which just means that so I'll be playing when I go flying. Mario stuff. WarioWare came back. We have Super Monkey Ball. Okay, we have Advanced Wars, which is cool as fuck. And then obviously Zelda comes out sometimes next year. It's kind of the big stuff. As a whole, How do you feel about the announcements this year?
I felt like it was such a non-thing.
Like, there's stuff in there
Like
that
the
matters.
announcements, some of the announcements were big, but it was so much of like
Yeah.
it was so like there was no definitive like E3's gonna die. I have no problem with that. The only nice part about it was that it was like everybody did their stuff and there was a schedule that everybody knew, and so it was easier to follow. Now that everybody's doing their own thing, they can be like, oh, we're going to have our quote unquote stage show, and then later on in the week, we're going to have, you know, each day we're going to have 15 minutes on a game or whatever. So, they changed their stage shows to be kind of teasers for the stuff that they're doing during the week. So it's harder to keep track of what's going on and what's been announced and all that.
Yeah, I think, again, they're cool things. I think there's a couple cool things that I really mentioned stand out, but as a whole, there are very few games in there that stuck with me, and I think the games that I think really mattered. So I think it's Guardians. I think probably Redfall Man is on its own. Obviously Starfield. The Just Cause not game. Those things could have been moments in themselves that you don't need to be wrapped in the bigger event.
Yeah.
And
I feel like
stuff like they had a few indie showcases, right?
Yeah.
Those indie showcases stand much better on their own if it's here is a Saturday in July that this indie show is happening. I feel like those indie games, unless you're physically on that stage, which is a different presence, right? And people are watching for that, you'd rather have this indie showcase just kind of stand on its own.
Yeah. I feel like the game that, I mean, they didn't give it a date or anything, but I feel like the sleeper announcement of E3 was Payday 3.
But the point, though, it's a sleeper announcement. The point is, though, if that's on the Xbox show stage, like in between two giant things, which I think might have been for like a second, it stands either great, or if it's just a Payday 3 event, it stands great. And the way they really talk about it, it doesn't.
The problem is Payday isn't a console game.
Sure. But
yes, it's been on consoles, but that is built as a PC game.
No, and I 100% agree. But again, at least at least now in theory, you have Microsoft who could show PC stuff, and it matters.
Yeah.
Or they try to make it matter, or be like, oh, it's coming to Game Pass, or something. And I think this, unless I think some people. So I think Microsoft and Nintendo were the best of the show, and Nintendo obviously can't show that stuff in the way they're showing things. But Microsoft, at least, if I'm in an independent game, either I want mine in a independent showcase separate from E3, or I want to be in the middle of the Microsoft events. Otherwise, I'm getting lost. Right? Those are my options. Those are my only options that for really getting eyes on me that matter.
Well, and especially with Sony dropping their E3 stuff, right? Like Sony was always the one that had the sizzle reel of here are all these indie games.
Microsoft's trying to pick up that mantle, but I think the thing though, if you looked at when most of those games were shown, Microsoft this year didn't show that. They were showing their AAA stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like Microsoft doesn't need to pick up that slack because...
Which is funny, because in actuality, they're just not marketing it like that.
Well, but Sony didn't necessarily leave a void that needed to be filled. By taking that, because that sizzle reel was, what, 90 seconds at most, normally.
Sure, I think it was always better when Sony would actually show off the game for a minute than the nice. But like, yes, there was only so much room on the space, and like a game got that or two, and the rest got the sizzle.
Yeah. So, I mean, yes, there's the time of, the cringy stage demo for the indie game that is going away. But it's also this, I don't know. The fact that Sony had almost zero presence kind of bugs me. But I also understand it as a business decision. Because, like, if you, like, okay, yeah, you didn't show anything during E3, but now when you do your thing, all eyes are on you.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think, I think some of these brands are realizing that, right? And so they don't want to, I think a lot of brands want to get rid of E3 so that they can have their own events.
But I think we're also shown that if you're gonna start doing that, do it not like all at once. Unless you think you can stay on your own. So if you're Microsoft, you can do it all at once because you're Microsoft. Or if you're Sony and you had stuff to show. But like Ubisoft, like I like if I didn't know you're an event, I'd forget you're an event.
Yeah.
And when Ubisoft's getting lost in that, you know it's bad. Gearbox, you should not have an event.
No, I mean, I feel like the only one that can really stand out is Devolver, and that's because they're just batshit insane.
Right. But Devolver is such a unique brand that everyone knows, and that's why they get to do it.
Well, I think if Devolver was just like every other press conference, it would get lost.
Mm-hmm.
But because it's exploding heads and all that, people watch it because it's shareable.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It goes viral. It's not that it's a good press conference. It's just that it's easy to share and people want to share it. Mm-hmm. Oh, there go my dogs. See, my dogs are mad at E3.
I'm sorry. Johnny, I'm sorry. I apologize.
They feel like E3 needs to go. That's what they're saying.
Jesus Christ, that's...
They're like, E3 needs to go. I'm going to bark it. I'm going to bark inside the house. Yeah. They're trying to scare E3 away.
Okay, calm down there. Don't hurt us. Don't hurt us.
Yeah. Also, the thunder is rolling outside the house right now.
Really? So, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I think that's everything. So let's jump next. Start. Some random games you and I at. F1 2021 comes out July 19th, which might be an AJ thing.
I've heard and seen cool things about it.
Okay. Psychonauts 2, August 25th. I think it's the date I actually didn't say. Deathloop, September 14th. And Diablo 2, September 23rd. It looks like stuff, again, the summer is weird. Also, I'm really following stuff that I think either we care about or is big. But it should look like it's starting to pick up sooner or later, which is always nice. So yeah, now, AJ, it's exciting. So this week, as people listen to this, is SWW week. Do you know what happens next week?
Movie club?
What?
Movie club?
Movie club. What movie?
Oh, we're talking...
It's big cars.
Space cars.
Space cars. That's right. We are back next week with the exciting return of Movie Club, and we are watching Black Widow. Wait, what is no.
God, I forgot that's happening.
So I got there's a note here. It says something about it's not called Fast and Furious for the record. It's just called F9.
Yeah.
So we will. I think it sounds like you're doing it this weekend. I'll find time to watch it for record. We are returning to theaters. It is time for us, for family, to take a return, to go to space, and for Vin Diesel. This is F9 time. How not excited are you for F9?
Dude, everything that I've seen has got me pumped. But all the things I've seen are like, this movie is batshit insane, and it knows it, and it loves it.
Yeah. This is the one that John Cena had apologized for, right?
Yes, yeah.
He called Taiwan a country?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, not good for the record.
I mean, you just need to do it and stick with it, right? Like,
yeah, there might be some problem though about this whole China taking over it. We'll get to it. But yeah, so keep an eye on that. If you have not, go see F9. I believe only in theaters.
Yeah.
It's not an HBO one or whatever.
Nope.
I don't remember who releases F9. Universal, yeah. I'm sorry, you have to see it.
I'm watching my levels, and I can, whenever I hear the thunder, I just look down and see it, and it just goes boom, boom.
I'm just saying, there's a song in here called, yeah, this is gonna be exciting. So yeah, but that is it. That is the end of the show for July 2021. I'm Mike. That over there is AJ. Remember, you can follow him on Twitter at AJ_Lucy. Follow me at Mike_Maroney. Follow the show at the SWW Show. Check out our weekly Wednesday night streams most weeks. Right now we are running through the Sea of Thieves updates. I don't know what we're running through after that. We'll figure it out. But I believe that is all. Go be free. Go fly. This will come out. Enjoy the 4th of July weekend. Be safe. Maybe don't shoot fireworks if you're in one of the 100-degree areas. Just a thought, but I ain't the cops. Right?
Yeah, that may be a problem.
I know, I should become a cop, I get it. Can you imagine me as a cop?
Dude, everybody would get away with everything.
So yeah, adios everyone.
This episode is partially brought to you by the Humble Choice program. Did you know Humble Bundle has a great monthly subscription service that lets you get a ton of video games every single month? That's right, from plans range from $5 to $20 a month, you get a hold of a bunch of free games they have available to you. And you could use our code down in the description below to go and sign up. It would help our podcast and help you see what great games are available for you this month.
This podcast was a production of the SWW Show. To learn more, go to theswwshow.com. Remember, you can follow the show on Twitter at the SWW Show. You can follow me at Mikey_Maroney. You can follow AJ at LowSeatBoy. Remember, new episodes premiere on Friday, 9 a.m. Central Time on anchor.fm/SWW and podcast services around the globe.